So I only covered this last week, the OPCW revelations, and that are just, well, they're debunking the narrative that Assad gassed his own people in Douma back in 2018. And I've covered recent revelations, another OPC whistleblower, and now we've got more revelations on Douma, this time from Wikileaks, who have published an internal OPCW email that casts more, well, it raises more questions about the alleged attack. Now, I just want to give you a bit of a reminder as to what happened. And this is Douma. Cast your mind back to Douma 2018. There was an alleged chemical weapons attack, and it was filmed by the White Helmets. The aftermath, supposed aftermath, was filmed by the White Helmets. And remember, you know, the children there coughing and spluttering. It was terrible. Apparently 49 people died in it. That was footage that was filmed by the White Helmets. And then there was the analysis online from Bellingcat, who basically said, yeah, it looks like that these were cylinders that were dropped from a helicopter by Assad. And this led to Theresa May quoting those findings. She called them open sources in the House of Commons in her speech as the reason to bomb Syria. There was enough compelling evidence that said, yes, that this was Assad that did it. The only problem was at the time it didn't add up. But I covered in my latest video that there was you got Admiral Sea Lord West or something like that, greatest name ever. He was saying it made no sense. The only people who would benefit from a chemical weapons attack in that area at that time were the terrorists, and we know that they have access to chemical weapons and they have done chemical weapons attacks themselves before. So it made no sense. And there was also the rush to judgment, you remember, at that time. You know, we bombed. Why? Why rush to judgment over this? Why not just wait? Why not wait for all the facts to come out? Why not wait for the OPCW to get there? No, they bombed the country before the OPCW got there. Although I don't think they bombed Douma. I don't think they bombed the place where the OPCW were going. They couldn't get there because it wasn't safe there. There was a problem at the time because these open sources, Bellingcat and the White Helmets, are funded by the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office, among other places. There are serious questions over whose side they are on, especially in the case of the White Helmets. And there was some great reporting then that came out a week later from Robert Fisk that basically said, in the Independent that basically said that these children in the video were suffering from hypoxia. There was shelling that was going on. It raised dust in the tunnels because they're all hiding with it in tunnels over in Douma as the shelling went on over there, and they got dust in their lungs and couldn't breathe. They got hypoxia. White Helmets apparently ran in, shouted gas, started pouring the kids with water, filmed it, and filmed the confusion. And this is what Robert Fisk reported. And then we had 18 witnesses from the hospital scene who went to The Hague, who testified that no, this is exactly how it happened. The OPCW just came in and started pouring water on everybody. And in some cases, the kids got rice and biscuits. So there was that. You know, that this made no sense at all. This is a theory that is just lies. Then we had the first whistleblower come out from the OPCW. That was somebody who worked as part of an engineering team off-site, who came out and said this it doesn't make any sense. Then we had the interim report, which the Wood of Alabama questioned and said, you've said that there was chlorine in the area, but you haven't said at what levels. Without the levels, we don't know whether if there would be elevated if there was a chlorine attack, that sort of thing. Then we had Riyam Delati came out, the BBC Syria producer, saying, I've got evidence that it was all propaganda and a propaganda stunt that was filmed in that clinic. And then he locked his account and he went private, and we've heard nothing since. Then we've obviously, let's not forget as well that report, that original report, was leaked to the Working Group on Propaganda and Media in Syria, or Syria Working Group on Propaganda and Media, people like Piers Robinson, David Miller, who were attacked by the Times newspaper, by journalists such as Deborah Haynes, who have been, we know that they're part of the Integrity Initiative operation because they've been named in the documents that were released there. So this is a smearing of people who are just releasing suppressed documents. This is the state actually trying to suppress information from coming forward, truthful information. They're pissing all over their narrative. That's certainly what it seems like to me. And now we have the latest revelations from the Wikileaks drop. Just bear me a second, I've got a new setup here. So, Caitlin Johnston has written about it. When I drop the video, I'll leave a link underneath to this article. It's excellent. And she's saying here, it vindicates the people like myself and her who have been on this from the very beginning. I just want to scroll down to this highlighted piece here that I've highlighted from it. She said this, the leaked email from, this is the leaked email from Wikileaks she's talking about. The leaked email, which has been published by Wikileaks and several other outlets, was sent by an unnamed OPCW investigator to the OPCW's then Cabinet Chief, Bob Fairweather, outright accusing OPCW leadership of misleading the public with the information it was omitting from the report it was drafting. I mean, all this is on top of all the stuff I've told you about, and then the video I did last week with the second whistleblower coming forward. So this evidence is seriously starting to mount up now, that is piddling all over the official narrative that we've had from Theresa May's government and her lickspittles in the media. I'll continue with this. It says, those who've been following this scandal closely may remember Fairweather as the man who journalist Johnston still recently, that's what I was talking about, reported, was responsible for calling investigators into his office to be intimidated by unknown officials from the United States government. The email was sent to Fairweather on June the 22nd, laden with pointed words and phrases like misrepresents the facts, selectively omitting, highly misleading, disingenuous, inaccurate, and a major deviation from the original report. Less than 2 weeks later, on July the 4th, the investigators were reportedly called into Fairweather's office for a disturbing meeting with US officials, which deeply rattled them. So, we've had the second whistleblower come forward, and now we've got testimony from people who are saying, listen, you know, there's been pushback here from within the OPCW, and they're being threatened. They're being forced to keep quiet about any information and not let any information into that report which doesn't back up the original narrative, the original spin that we had from Bellingcat and the White Helmets, these companies that are funded by the government, remember, and came to conclusions that led to the government bombing Syria. And now any information that's coming out that is actually in opposition to that narrative, they're not only suppressing, but as you can see there, as I've just read out, intimidating people within the OPCW to step in line, to get in line. You can see what's happening here. The email that Wikileaks have published accuses the OPCW and people higher up in the OPCW of doctoring the report and distorting facts. And that is an accusation by somebody who actually is in the OPCW. They've been accused of doctoring a report and distorting facts by members within their own operation. Anything that is in opposition to the official narrative, anything opposing the state's official narrative that it was chlorine, governor, and it was dropped by a helicopter, and it was Assad that did it, case closed. Any information that has come out that is in opposition to that has not only been left out of that report by the OPCW, but also suppressed. And anybody who was dissenting, any dissenting voices, have then been intimidated to shut the hell up. Bodies have been moved by the look of it. In this case, it made no sense that all those bodies died of chlorine poisoning there, because apparently it killed everybody in the area, and that never happens with chlorine. It's usually only deadly in 5% of cases, and there was no sign of these people running away. So it looks like they've been planted there. And we know the White Helmets were in the area. Put two and two together. There are questions that need to be asked here. There are questions, to be quite honest, that should have been asked long, long ago. This is a huge story, isn't it? I mean, it looks like at worst here, worst case scenario, we have committed the supreme war crime again. This is future. This is future. This is proof, in my opinion, that we are living right now in a dystopian future where the truth is not the truth. Truth is lies, do you remember, in 1984? The media's silence on this story so far has been deafening. I have done video after video after video debunking it on my meagre wage, if you like, and what I get from you guys supporting me. I've done my best to disseminate that information and to give you the truth. The silence from the media is deafening on this. Just apart from Robert Fisk in The Independent with that report when the incident first happened, since all this has come out in the last 48 hours, the only two outlets I can see up until I went live tonight, either side of the Atlantic, that have reported on this are Peter Hitchens in the Daily Mail and Tucker Carlson on Fox News. I shit you not. Jonathan Cook on Twitter said this: "It's a sign of how far we are through the looking glass that the only corporate journalists prepared to report to us, the overwhelming, quote, evidence that we were lied to about events in Syria are a rogue columnist at the Daily Mail, Peter Hitchens, cuckoo about cannabis, and Tucker Carlson on Fox News." Here's the segment that Tucker did. It's about 7 minutes long. I've watched it. It's excellent. It really is excellent. They're the only outlets that are reporting on this. What does that tell you about whether we're living in a dystopian future right now? This is one of the biggest scandals on the planet, and our media don't want to talk about it. Why is that? Why are they not talking about war crimes that our governments are doing right now? Why? Ben Norton, we live a dystopian hell. You're absolutely right, Ben. Where Fox, one of the most biased right-wing outlets imaginable, is for once actually doing a fair and balanced coverage of Syria. Meanwhile, the neoliberal media is ignoring or denying the massive OPCW Douma scandal. You can see there, that article. Fox News. Other than that, our watchdogs in the media, the people who are meant to hold power accountable, are silent. Silent. I think it's time we appointed new watchdogs, don't you? Because this is proof in my eyes that our government, along with the help from their Mockingbird media, are creating and distributing their own fake news. That's what this is. They've created a narrative. They've used that narrative as a reason to bomb Syria, and then anything that is coming out that is in opposition to that narrative, they are suppressing and muddying the waters. This is the government creating their own fake news and our media refusing to hold them account, but going along with it. Like I say, their silence is deafening on this.